Yo, holy shit. Hold on, Owen. Everybody,
Oh, I see, yeah.
yeah, everybody in chat, I am getting coached right now by a challenger Fiora, so I will not be responding to chat, but it was a pleasure playing with you, and thank you for the kind words, man.
First thing, I do not like D-shield or D-blade in this lane. I like to go longsword 3-pots, because most Rivens go longsword 3-pots. If they don't go longsword 3-pots, they go D-shield, and if they go D-shield, it's really easy to kill them early game if they play aggressive, and most Rivens will play aggressive.
Yeah.
The people who like go D-shield and, you know, play like a pussy on Riven, they are usually either bad at Riven or they're not comfortable in this matchup, so it doesn't matter if they play like a pussy because they're gonna make mistakes anyways.
Why wouldn't you just take? Why wouldn't you just take longsword refillable?
On Riven?
Like no, like on Fiora if you're gonna go longsword start.
Because you want the 3-pots. The whole point of going longsword 3-pots is to match your sustain. I mean, if you want to, you know, clairvoyance their spawn and see if she's going, fucking refill instead of 3-pots, then you can go refill. But I always go 3-pots. Because the problem with D-blade here, right, is that she can trade aggressively and use her 3 potions and just trade HP. And even if she goes down in a trade, she wins because she's got 3-pots to your 1.
Yeah.
And Rivens will like ignite Riven with sorcery. Like they're gonna go aggressive. So that's what you have to match. So I like to go alongside 3-pots here. Starting bot, it's okay. On Karthus, looks like we're starting bot, and you guys win 2v2, assuming you play correctly. It's a bit worrisome with the Karthus exhaust, but it should be fine. But it doesn't happen in this game, so it doesn't matter. But the big thing here is you have to play around this first vital in lane really hard. So in this lane, when she queues up like that, you need to be ready. Because what Riven wants to do is when she wants to walk, like with sorcery Riven, what they want to do is they want to walk up to you and Q auto, you know, like fucking Riven combo you really quickly. Because they have a shit ton of damage, and with sorcery, what they'll do is they can try and cheese you with Nimbus Cloak and just run you down, level 1. So a lot of times they'll try to do this, and even if they won't try to go full on like you, this is their level 1 trade. They have to walk up and Q auto you over and over again. So you have to be ready for these Qs, and you have to try and bait them out, right? Because you win level 1 if you don't tank the Qs, but if you do, you can lose really easily. So what you do is you're gonna kind of walk up close to her, and then just bait out the Q. So like walk up, walk back, walk up, walk back, walk up, walk back, and then if you bait out a Q, you just go in and hit the vital. So right there, your positioning wasn't good enough on this vital here. It's like I'm talking about with baiting the Qs.
Yeah.
She's gonna walk up here. You want to walk up a little bit. You want to like walk up sort of to this melee minion, and then what you can do is you can either walk back to try and bait the Q, or you can try and Q directly in front of her, and you may touch the Q damage. But even if you don't touch the Q damage, you'll get a Q out on a vital, and as long as you use the vital move speed to avoid the next Q, you win the trade.
Like Q through her and hit this.
Yeah, Q through her. So like if she walked up farther here, just Q through her. You can even do it right here. You just need to be ready, right? Because if you do it too late like this, she's already got a movement command walking back, like she does here, and then your Q ends up hitting the side instead of the top and hitting the vital.
Just like
so Rivens are always gonna do that trade, right? That's the only way they can trade level 1. So you just have to watch. You have to watch when they're walking up for Qs and either space or Q to the opposite side, hit the vital if it's not a front vital. But this is a good trade here. I would have tried to walk up a little bit closer to get one more auto, but that's all right. And see, this is where longsword 3-pots is gonna come in big. If you keep trading like this, where you're like 200 HP up, it's not gonna matter. But eventually you're gonna start losing trades, and see what's gonna happen is I know that you saw this this is happening in lane, is like your wave's gonna come towards over here, and you're gonna be like 300 HP, right? And she's gonna be full HP.
That's what I was thinking too. It's like sometimes you like win the trades on her, and then it just doesn't matter because you're right, because they have a
exactly. Because she's got 450 HP from these potions, and you got 150.
But you have to like respect the fact that she's got like 3 Qs, and typically Riven I always feel like hits level 2 before me, unless they try to like all in level 1. And I feel like I always win the level 1, but then you're forced to like stay damn near because they like have the wave set. You know what I mean?
You win the level 1 if you dodge Qs, like I was talking about.
Yeah.
It can be hard if they choose you though. When she uses her abilities like this to trade, you have a pretty decent window. So like right here, Grease on cooldown for a pretty long time. Once you hit 2, I would immediately go up for this vital. Look right here, you can just go for this vital. You didn't have if you didn't walk back, you would have been in auto range to just walk up and Q it. And then when she Qs you, you can either Q back to avoid the Q, and then you win the trade, or you can Q forward and keep going if you think you win.
I think I've just been hesitant in this lane and not like cocky like I usually am, like just going right through her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and this is a bad Q. You don't want to lead with Q when she's got her 3rd Q up. because she just does this. If she timed it a little better, she interrupts your Q, and you're really fucked for lane, because that's on 14-second cooldown. It's like right here, you could have already hit this front fiddle there if you had walked up earlier. When I was talking about when her E was on cooldown, and you'd walked up there, you could have hit this front fiddle, but instead you have to go for it like this. And one, you Q too long, and then 2, you Q when she's got her 3rd Q up. So she just can either interrupt your Q if she's got the good timing, or she just trades damage. And it's always going to be worse for you, like I said, because of pot disadvantage. You see right here, you guys are even in HP, right?
Yep.
Close enough to even, right? But she's still got 2 pops.
No, the Q is too long. Like tighter movements, right?
Yeah, you need tighter movements, and like I said, don't Q when she's got 3rd Q up like that. And this was a bad.
That's another like super long Q, yeah.
Yeah, you did a super long Q when
like
she's got
just
all
max
abilities
ranging Qs when she can just weave abilities in quickly.
Yeah. like I said, the most important thing to watch in this matchup is her E cooldown. Because with her E like this, you didn't even trade any damage on her. She just absorbed it with her shield. And like I said, if you try to parry her 3rd Q and she's got E up, she just dodges it every time with her E, so it doesn't matter.
Is E like green light? If E's down, is that like green light to trade?
It's green light to actually get damage off. Because if you try with some trade, like it's green light to attempt to get damage off. Because if you try to trade sometimes when her E's down, if the rest of her ability's up, she can just like stun you, Q auto you once, walk away with the 2nd Q.
Yeah.
So it may not be like the time to trade if E is down, but if E's down, that's when you should be looking. Okay, this is all fine. Just want to grab CS and start here. This is good, but like I said, it doesn't really matter because we're really seeing the pot difference here, right? Like look at the.
She still has a pot too, yeah.
Yeah, even though you haven't even been trading that poorly, like the last trade was pretty bad, but before that it wasn't a huge. None of your trades were bad, but the pot difference is coming in huge here. And like I said, that's why I like to go long with 3 pots, because Riven's always good at that shit. So he messes up his gank time a little bit here because he goes to check Karthus's red. I don't know why he's Echo is checking Karthus's red side jungle at 330. Like,
it would
unless
be
the
done.
Karthus doesn't have hands, he clears way faster than that. So I don't know why he's checking that, especially with all his jungle up. I don't really know what he's doing, but this is an okay gank look. But once the W misses and it's like this. Once we didn't see Karthus in all this jungle here, we know he's either doing grab and sitting here, or coming towards you right now, like ASAP, like in the bush. So it's pretty bad to chase. And plus, you've got no cooldowns. Echo's got no cooldowns. At this point, like, you just gotta leave. Waves too. It's been unfortunate, but it happens. Yeah, once we saw that. Once Echo walked in here and saw that this is all cleared, we should have known that Karthus was either in blue side or doing crab or like right here. There's nowhere else he can be. I mean, he could I guess he could base after the full clear, but that wouldn't make any sense. So
really, it's just like if he hits the stun, gank is a go, and if not, we just dip on it.
Yeah, I mean, if she had like run up, it would have been okay. You could have tried to chase and get a little bit of damage. That way you can get the wave in safer. But when she starts running down like this as well, like. It becomes super obvious that she's running like right towards Karthus, but it's just unfortunate that Echo missed everything, and then he also did this shitty pathing, but it's okay. It's a bit my fault we ended up going Shardbreaker instead of Bork first, because it really fucks up this build in my opinion, but it's kind of my fault because I told you to buy Iron Spike, so.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's not like we still ended up winning lane really hard. And I don't know if there was any like real moments where it was like I lost because I didn't have Bork. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is with Bork, it's less about winning the lane. It's like with Bork you can how do I word this? With Bork the damage you have is really stupid. Like it's really stupid. So even if you're behind compared to the Zeri, like you just kind of kill her if you get on her. You with Bork you 1v1 Yasuo really easy inside lane. With Bork you can dive Riven. Like it's a huge 1-item spike. It's a huge 2-item spike as well. But when you buy it first item like that, it's crazy damage. Yeah. So it makes you be able to force a lot of plays easier, and we probably would have gotten more ahead in this game if we had rushed Bork. And then maybe the game's different because we have more gold compared to Zeri, more gold compared to Karthus and Yasuo. All right, so this is a fine trade. Like I said, when I was saying here, you see Echo's coming. You want to bait for Echo?
Oh no, when this ends up, I didn't remember this.
Yeah, so this is a great parry here. Good predict. So it's a bit flip here when you parry that.
Oh, it's so flip. I mean, but there's no other way. Like,
there's no other way to do it.
yeah,
Right,
there's
when
no
you're in
other
that
way.
position. So what I would have done. Nah, you're pretty much forced to do that. It's a bit fucked because you baited. You have to bait for Echo. That's fine. Like I said, I don't think you need the flash
I
here.
thought, well, you see the Q I'm talking about, right? The Q
I see
that's
the Q,
underneath me.
but I don't think it doesn't have damage. 1 and 2. Your auto is already like in the air, right? So like because you just auto flash the other side. So if you would have just, you could have just auto this vital and she would have died anyways. So it would have been fine.
Gotcha.
Echo doesn't have any equivalents here, so you can't like chase. Just fine.
I was ready for that though.
Yeah.
Now if the flash like worked out and I was able to get the kill by getting over the wall faster, that would have been pretty sick though. But obviously not.
Yeah, it's alright. We get pretty ahead here, so that's good. Ahead of your lane, that is. So this here, if this is my fault for saying go ice spike here. Instead, on this gold, I would have just gone pickaxe instead. The thing about Bork is when you're building Bork, you want to buy the pickaxe if you can, even if you want the lifesteal, because if you buy the if you buy the if you buy the longsword and you go for the vampiric scepter, it can be pretty hard to get a pickaxe base, and then you're stuck buying recurve. Yeah, you're stuck buying the daggers for recurve, and that's real shit. Like that feels real bad. So if you don't do that, building Bork feels really bad. That's the one problem with Bork, is that the build path is really shit. So
yeah,
if you don't get the pickaxe base, it's really bad. But you had it here, so I would have gone pickaxe and iron spike for Bork.
You would have gotten pickaxe and iron spike?
I said pickaxe. You would have had pickaxe instead of iron spike for Bork.
Whenever I go the stride build, I always rush Bork. I just didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think I like just thought that I was building Gore, but clearly into that team, no, I wouldn't be building Gore.
Yeah. So against squishies like this, like they've got Karthus, Yasuo, Zeri, like.
Yeah.
Against squishies, like especially high mobility squishies like these, Stride Breaker is really good, and then Bork is also really good because it's even more catch potential, and it's so something that's interesting about Bork is that like it's good against high speed targets, right? But what it's really good against is low armor targets, because 12% current health is a lot no matter how much HP they have, but the more armor they have, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
So when you're against squishy champs like this, Bork is good because it's a high percent. So even if they're not building HP, you're still doing a lot of damage because they're not building armor. Like I said, the main goal with rushing Bork and the Stride build is to just kind of pump early game really hard. Because that build, when you get ahead, you just kind of kill people like everywhere. Like you can just chase people all over the map.
Mm-hmm.
You get move speed, lots of catch potential, so you get lots of damage really. That's the idea. If you don't get a huge lead with it, it's not a great build.
Oh, this was good.
Yeah.
I just missed, like, I wanted to go around the back, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and,
you
like,
missed the top vital, but it's your Q wasn't up, so she got out of the stun, so it was pretty hard to hit the top vital there. Yeah, Q wasn't up, so you couldn't have hit the top vital there. It's okay. 3 was enough, so good kill. Good predict on the W.
At this point, I don't feel like after getting a kill like that, I feel like you never lose 1v1 to Riven again, basically. And I think
this lane is really really back and forth in that whoever gets a kill early. Like the first kill is really important because you can snowball off of it, but the first kill you can kind of come back from it. But after like after 2 kills, like, or if you get like 1 kill and you get a really good wave, like it becomes really hard for the person to come back because you just don't have enough damage to kill them before they kill you. And that's exacerbated even more with Bork. See how you're moving between your autos here all the time? I want you to do this all the time. Sometimes you stop doing it. You need to do it all the time, like legit all the time. This may seem like it's something dumb, it's like really basic, but if you when you're forgetting to do this, it's really noticeable. It makes your play look really stiff. If I can explain that right, okay? It makes things look not very fluid, and it may seem like not a big deal, but when you're trying to move between autos to hit vitals, or trying to move like between mini waves like that, if you're not used to doing that all the time, like legit perma, then you're gonna mess it up more. So you do it most of the time, right?
Yeah.
But like I said, sometimes you don't do it, and it makes your play look really stiff. Like there's a certain fluidity of movement to when you're breaking your auto animation like that.
Are you talking about like when I'm standing there and like just A-clicking minions? Like I should just still be moving?
Yeah, you just always be moving. It doesn't matter.
Like you actually think that helps?
Yes, for sure. Like look at the shield and the axe in this minion, right? They're on opposite sides, right? So the movement of going from the shield to the axe on this minion, like walking around it, is the same movement as hitting a vital on an enemy champ on the other side. Like, so say you hit this vital, say the shield is a vital, right? You hit the shield, and you go over to the axe, it's the same movement. So if you, when you're practicing this movement like that, even just unconsciously, it means it's going to get better for when you're doing it in more important scenarios.
Are you talking about like literally rotating the way vitals spawn, like on minions?
I mean, you don't have to go that far. I'm just saying like it's the same movement, right?
I mean, that's just like Giga's Chad shit, like fucking just.
You don't you don't have to go like opposite side to opposite side, but you need to just get in the habit of always breaking your auto animation like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's the same movement on vitals every single time. Because the first thing you need to do is, I don't know why I backstepped here, but you just, because you want like when you that's the fluidity I'm talking about, right? You don't notice it too much on minions, right?
Yeah.
But when you're going from vital to vital like that, it's a huge like fluidity difference if you're stopping too much on one side of the vital, or like on one side of the champion hit the vital and then going to the next one. It's a huge fluidity difference in your movement if you're not breaking your auto animation enough.
I think
So,
there is
like I said,
points in this game where I stop an A click. There is. Let me see.
There was one when you were doing it by the when you killed the Riven, you did it a little bit. That's why I wanted to point it out, but I didn't get a good example of it. And this, like I said here, you're really far ahead, so you want to play aggressive, but we need to be able to see Karthus first before you go for something like this.
Is this not okay though?
Because
I mean, Echo's coming. No.
You're okay if Echo's coming, but he's really like when you go in, he's really far. Like he's still over by wolves.
Oh yeah.
You gotta stall a long time if you want to go for this. Here, I think you can bait this a lot more. Like the Karthus is almost and the Riven already used her ult. I think you can bait this a lot more. You just need to play with confidence, walk up and dodge the Karthus Qs, and then Q forward like a bit earlier.
Still had parry too. Is it okay to lose parry to just keep them there?
Yeah, as long as if you're actually hard bidding for Echo, it's okay to lose parry there. Yeah.
Gotcha. Because I literally hold my parry so much.
Yeah, I just use it willy-nilly. Fuck that. Who cares?
Willy-nilly?
Yeah.
I care. Well, I think I got a 24-second cooldown.
Not willy-nilly, but it's better to like if you don't use it at all, you don't get anything from it.
Yeah. Well, that does suck because they actually did both get away there.
Yeah, you definitely could have baited it a bit harder. And the thing about like the movement, right? You don't have to like I said, you don't have to be practicing hitting vitals on the minions. You just need to be getting in the habit of always breaking your auto animation.
No, I get what you're saying. Like,
yeah.
I just was like, you were saying the shield is a vital and the sword is a vital.
I was just trying to find a way to word it because you can see my cursor. So
let me start fast forwarding these minions. Should I flash for it?
No, because you can see my cursor, so I was trying to find a way to word it without.
No, I got you.
Shitty fucking.
I get what you're saying. Just to get like consistently get used to like breaking your animation so you can put out damage as fast as possible, like in all scenarios.
Yeah, because like think about it like if you go for your full auto attack animation, right? When you're hitting a full vital R, right? Think about how slow that is. Mm-hmm. Like if you auto, wait for the auto to finish, then go down, auto, wait for the auto to finish, auto, wait for the auto to finish. It's really slow.
And that's like a super micro thing to practice too.
Yeah. Well, see that's the thing is that you're like you're like getting back to master elo, right? So when you're trying to get higher than this, you need to be practicing super micro things. If you're trying to practice like solely to improve, right? Especially because on a champion like Fiora, your movement is really, really important.
Oh, thank God I didn't go for this. By the way, Karthus was here.
Yeah. Like I said, I think I called out that he was here, but I think I said he was on Raptors. I should have said he was on the red side because we saw him walk up. But so one thing that was also going to help with the movement thing is just making sure you're constantly clicking. It may seem a bit like spastic, but
nah, it probably is better.
Because if you think about how many like, I can show you in practice till afterwards how many clicks actually go into like a 4 vital R, but it's
Bro, it's probably like 12, 15 to be honest.
More than that. If you're going for real precise movements on a 4 vital R, you need to click quite a lot. So basically the entire like shtick of Fiora, right, is making really small micro movements when enemy it's even more noticeable when enemies are really close to you, right? because when the vital position is changing, it's constantly making adjustments for your position to the enemies so that you can actually hit the vital. And if you don't, it's really noticeable. It shows.
This was good that we hit Stridebreaker here.
Yeah, so this was a good this is a good chase here, right?
Yeah, but we just
this is a fine chase. We just messed this up a little bit. So once we get this, Riven's Q's coming back up, the rest of our abilities on cooldown, we know that. So we get the damage here. All we need to do, we got our E crit up here. All we need to do is just Q auto down here. And when she dies. We don't need to use W or anything. Q auto down here will be enough to kill her. You see, look, that was 204, and if you Q'd, would have been enough. With Ignite. Because you're missing 120 damage, and she's got no armor. Your Q would have done it.
Oh god.
That's what I was trying to tell you.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
There. But that was just not great damage foresight, which happens sometimes. And then after that point, you know, when you flash to the wall, it's hard over chase.
You know what's crazy? If I had
flashing
Bork,
is really bad there, but yeah, if you had Bork, she would have died.
It would actually would have just died.
But you also may not have caught her without Stride slow, so you know.
True, actually, true.
Hindsight and all that. But yeah, that flash there is really bad because you're flashing like super far in the jungle for just. You know,
seriously, just let her go there, huh?
Basically rage flash, to be honest.
A little bit, I guess, yeah.
Like I said, this 1v1 is winnable with your Ignite up. Even winnable without it, to be honest.
Yeah, it would have just been really difficult though. Like I got a little thrown off just because I got like.
Yeah. So the important thing is when Yasuo is like dashing around like this, you just need to focus on him. Don't worry about anything else. Like just focus on the Yasuo because otherwise you're gonna lose track of his Q stacks. You're gonna lose track of his passive stacks. You just need to keep your eyes on him. Like don't like when he's at the start of this fight, you're focused too much on like what you need to be doing for damage when you need to be focusing like on him, right? Because when he dashes in like this, and you're gonna lose focus, and then right here, you're focusing too much on trying to get your R off, and you're not paying attention to his tornado that he got stacked on the minions. And then right here, you can just go. Like, you see how little damage he did to you because you have tab eyes and he's only got, you know, fucking Zeal instead of going for IE?
True, but, like, I'm really looking for, like, win wall before I try to do anything crazy because he gets his tornado back up. And I want to slide parry it, but, like, the thing is that I'm not going to stun him because he's going to just win wall the stun.
See, that's the thing. You're focusing too much on what you want to do to him rather than what he's doing. Okay?
So
do you see what I'm saying?
Okay, but
like it's good that you're coming in with a plan, but once the fight actually starts, the plans usually go out the window. Because like you're coming in with the idea that you want to slide parry his tornado, right?
Just parry in general, yeah, like stun him.
Yeah, but it's like when he's got tornado charge like this and he's reacting to minions, you're not gonna get the opportunity. It's like you can't really slide parry this. Like you can. This is hard to react to with just a W, right?
Yep.
So you need to either just W that or tank it like you did, and then keep going. Because once he Qs you like that and ults you, he's got nothing else left. He doesn't have ignite. Like he doesn't have ignite. We should know if we're timing sums, right?
Yep.
So he's got nothing left, and you've basically got all your abilities still up, pretty much. Like, well, you got your important abilities still up, and your Q's coming up. So you could have just kept going on the straight here. I think we ended up killing him later, but yeah. We could have just kept going here.
We do end up getting the kill, but he does like stay, so.
Yeah. So what I was trying to tell you about the Yasuo Qs is when you need to try and move erratically to try and dodge his Q if you can.
Well, if you saw at the first part, I fucking sidestepped the initial Q right at the beginning.
Here, watch what you do here. I'm gonna say something about this. When you Q like this towards him, it's a free Q. You need to start moving to one of the sides, left or right, instantly. Otherwise, he's just gonna hit you with free Qs all the time. I mean, it's pretty. If he's playing correctly, it's pretty difficult to dodge it after a Q, right? Because he's just gonna Q right as soon as he sees you Q, and it's gonna be hard to actually get out of your animation in time to actually to dodge it, right?
Yep.
But either way, if you move left or right instantly, there's a chance, you know. But if you Q straight up, there's no chance. So after you Q, just move left or right instantly. Try to pick which one's better for you. You know, like say in this case, you know, the vital's on the left, move to the left instead of to the right. But this is a good pair on tornado. He didn't react with wind wall, so he's dead.
I wonder if I even need it, if I could have saved ignite, honestly, but probably better just to use it because it's like. I think a lot of people end up.
But
yeah, I think it's better to use it though. I try to use it whenever, like, use that thing on cooldown because the more you use it, the more you can get it out in game, and it's kind of like the lowest cooldown for a summoner. You know?
Yeah, Ignite's really low cooldown. I just use it all the time too. It's not really a huge deal. It can swing a lot of 1v1s, but you just kind of have to keep that in mind. So something I would have done here probably is I would have also, and here I would have also tried to walk down and then go up towards here for a flank. With this comp, we just want to be watching Vigor Cage. That's our ticket. We're looking for people caught by Vigor Cage. We're looking for people who are either caught by Seraphine Ult or Seraphine E. That is the goal. As you see later in the game, if you engage too early on the enemy team like this, when your comp is like this, like nobody on your team can really like follow up. Echo is the only other diver on your team, and he can't really follow up with you right away, right? He's gotta wait for his W. So if you go in right away, you just die. You're paper. And these guys overstay, which happens, but
I like this. I thought this was good.
yeah. So this, I honestly would have kept chasing.
Like, just take the movement speed off the right vital.
Yeah, take the move speed, and just keep going.
Yeah.
Because
well, I got exhausted. I was wondering if I would even reach, because I hit the side.
Okay. We just keep chasing. The goal, they don't really have much damage here. Their items are kind of shit compared to yours. If you dodge Karthus Qs, you can't really die. Riven doesn't do that much damage. She doesn't have ult. Doesn't have ignite. Karthus, if you dodge Karthus Qs, you're just all you're taking is Leandri's and his E damage, which at this point in the game isn't that much, right?
Yep.
So if you dodge the Karthus Qs, play confidently, just keep chasing Riven here. It's a bigger bait for Echo.
I see what you mean. Like just hit that right vital and just Q towards Riven.
Just keep going. Because the goal here is like you have enough damage to kill them if they fuck up. But the goal here is to bait for Echo, so we want to we don't want to play too much like we're baiting. Obviously, because then they know and then they walk away. But the goal is to make it look like we're taking a poor fight and have Echo come and save us.
I think even if I stunned her, it would have been bad actually, because it probably would have baited me right there.
Yeah, probably.
When I tried to stun on the 3Q.
It's in general, I find it hard to kind of to actually full commit to split against Yuumi, because Yuumi speeds up the rotations a lot on whoever she's on. Especially someone like Zeri, they can just rotate on you really easily, so I find it hard to split. And your team comp is really good for fighting anyways.
Yeah, well, I felt like it was kind of weird.
This is like the big threat of the game. You guys are in a pretty good spot right here, right?
Yeah.
You guys are scaling. Zeri is fed, but she isn't that fed. You guys are in a pretty good spot here to scale and take over this game. But this is really greedy. You're just playing really, really cocky here. Like, you're not respecting the fact that they could come at you at all. Like,
I had to have seen something. I see it to make me want to do.
All you do is so you just see the Yasuo come at you and you just go for him. That's all there is.
Fucking YOLO, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a throw.
It's just really cocky.
What are they? I forget how this goes, or do they all die? That's probably why.
They all die.
Yeah, they all die.
This is where the game really gets thrown, because they get Baron off this. Like I said, once you get Stride Bork, this is why the game really goes bad here, because with this build, like I said, once you get Stride Bork, the goal is to make plays on the map and make good plays. When you make bad plays with Stride Bork, you tend to fall even further behind, because it's a build that really incentivizes you to be kind of just running around the map killing people.
This build kind of just punishes you when you make mistakes, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you're squishier than Gore Drinker, right? But you have way more damage than Gore Drinker, but you're squishier. And if you play like this, you either need to play perfectly and pair the Yasuo W, even though I don't think you kill him. I think you die to Zeri. You just need to. It's like, do you need to play cocky, but you need to it's measured
smart.
cockiness.
Yeah.
Like with this build, you need to be taking fights. You need to be forcing fights. You need to be getting ahead. But stuff like this is bad because it's just not. You're just not paying enough attention to where the enemy team could be when you go for this, right? Like, Yasuo goes on you here. It's like you got Seraphine behind you, right? But their entire enemy team is dark. You got no idea where anybody is. So, high likelihood they're collapsing on you, and even if they aren't collapsing on you, right? You still don't know. And they couldn't by the time the fight's happening. So you need to have the confidence to go for plays like this, but you need to also have the game sense to know that it's actually the correct play. You know? I'd like that you went for this. It was good confidence, but wasn't the right time.
Yeah, no, for sure. But it's like I think whenever I get the stride bork, like I really try to play towards my power spikes. You know what I mean? And this is
Yeah,
just
that's
such
the
a
idea.
huge
With
one.
this build, you get these 2 items, you want to go off.
Yeah.
The time to make plays with this build is right now. It's a bit unfortunate that Zeri's fed as well, because that makes it harder as well, but this kind of happens. With this build, you kind of play like an assassin. You're just constantly looking for picks, because you kill people very quickly and you catch them very easily with stride and bork. And this is where the game goes really bad, because once they get Baron,
Yeah.
a lot harder to fight, a lot harder to push. Harder to push sideways, because you want to. Sidelines pushing this build is really important because it keeps the vision dark, and it keeps the enemy having the enemy has to respond to waves eventually. So you just sit in pockets where they don't have vision, and you go on them, and that's the best way to get picks with this build. Is to push the wave and then go like set like what we did to Riven here later in the game, right? On the dragon flank, just wait for her to come get this wave, stuff like that. Just do that over and over again with this build. Not necessarily just sitting in the bush waiting for to come for the wave, right? But like maybe you wait here and then when she comes after the wave and she rotates and you catch her there. That's the goal of this build.
It's just to get picks because you can do quick damage.
Yep, you can do quick R procs with Stridebreaker much quicker than Gore because if you don't have flash, it's quicker than Gore because Stride's I don't know this for sure, right? But in my experience, Stride's active is like does the damage faster than Gore. With Gore, there feels like there's a weird delay on it, like 0.25 or something.
I actually
but with
agree.
Stride, there doesn't. I don't feel that personally. So it's easier to do fast drives with it.
This was kind of scary sitting here, by the way, because they were just all right next to me.
Yeah. So
it felt really bad, low key.
You can go sweeper. Sometimes if you're playing for this stuff because it makes the flanks a little bit safer because you know they don't have vision. You know if you're on a ward here, and they don't. If you're on a ward here and they don't play like, then they don't play obviously like you're on a ward. You know it can be kind of int. But the nice thing about Fiora is that flanks like this are easier to do and know when you're not in vision, if they're actually like if the enemy team is on vision because you'll see if they have vitals, right? So you'll know if they have vision of you or not. So like right here, we saw them place they placed a blue ward in this bush, right? At some point, I don't know when they put it, but I think it was early, and this is the ward debris. But they placed a blue ward and didn't see you, so you know that you're fine because they're all here and you can see them a little bit, and then none of them have vitals, so you know that they don't have vision of you. And this here is good. So
I actually thought I played this fight kind of well, to be honest.
I think your R wasn't very good, but let me talk about that real quick. So when somebody face checks you, So when somebody face checks you like this, you don't want to use your Q like that so early, because their instinct is immediately going to be to run away, and it's the same kind of thing where whenever I tell you or other people that to focus on the vitals that are going to be easiest blocked. Well, in this situation, they don't really have anything that can be blocked easily, right? So that's not. It's the same principle, but it's about what vital you're using your Q on, because they can't really block anything here, right?
Yeah.
But if you Q this bottom vital like you did, you have no way to get to these top two now. So when they walk into a bush like this, you need to be cognizant of what vitals they're going to expose to you when they're running away, and what vitals aren't going to be. Because like when she walks in here, what you're going to want to do is when she walks into you like this, what you should do instantly is hit these bottom two as fast as you can, and then use Q to hit either the left one or the top one, because these are the ones that are going to be up still when she's running away. And when you use Q downward, now you can't hit them; they're just gone. Unless you. And
she's going to literally walk up and give you that Q anyways, or give you that vital anyways. Yeah.
So you can get those two vitals without using your Q, and then you can save your Q for the top two. So you can either auto walk down E, or just like auto walk down stride and then Q up and then E at the top one if they're slowed enough to get it. But when you use Q like that, there's nobody at the top two, and so you need to be cognizant of when you can hit vitals like without using your Q, because it makes a huge difference in fast RPOCs like that, because you would have had three vitals there pretty much instantly, right? The last one would have been hard to hit. The fourth one, you can maybe flash for it and commit, but you would have had three pretty much instantly if you had saved your Q for the third one. I said that in kind of a poor way, but I hope you got the point.
No, I did. I did indeed.
I
really wanted to flash on this guy.
Nah, see the problem is it's their Yumi, right? So they're gonna get real fast. You're gonna get spaced really hard. The only way you win this is like if you Stride Breaker and then Seraphine lines up an E, but it's a flip. It's a big flip, especially because she's fed and she's got QSS. So you're banking on her playing pretty poorly. The rest of this game is mostly just like you kind of feeling the pressure because like you're in a with this build after the 2-item spike. If you aren't consistently like accelerating your gold and getting more items after this, it feels kind of bad because the whole point is to make the plays with the 2 items, and if you don't, you kind of fall behind because Bork's damage kind of falls off compared to like rushing Menmi in second. Because as they get armor, as they get especially with durability patch, right? Because as they get armor, the Bork current health damage is fizz, right? So
yep,
it's just gonna feel worse compared to going Manamune and getting more true damage on vitals. See, this is fine. So I told you to go take wolves here, and taking wolves is fine. I think taking Gromp is too much. I think you need to go to drag right away. Or I think you don't need to take Gromp. I think you need to clearly go to drag right away instead of taking Gromp because it delays you a bit too much.
Oh, this fight.
Oh, sort of in time. You stop for midwave as well, which I told you to do, but I wasn't paying enough attention. It's my fault.
We get behind them.
So here, yeah. So this is the problem with Fiora in a lot of cases, right? So they sort of know you're here, but they do forget about you, right? That was the plan. They did to forget about you, and then they did. So that's good. But this is the problem with Fiora, is that if you don't have secondary engage, right? If you don't have primary engage and you make Fiora your primary engage, you just kind of die. So like right here, this is a great flank, right? But
the thing that sucks is I'm spam pinging the fuck out of it though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So what needs to happen here is Seraphine needs to walk up with Vigor Cage, but they're on cooldown right now, which is the problem. You need to have Seraphine W and walk up with Vigor Cage, so that way they're focused on these members when you go in, and then they don't kind of instantly pop you. Because when you're playing Fiora like this and you don't have primary engage, they all just turn on you right away if you go in too early, and you just die before you can do anything. Like even if you're like fucking. Even if you're like playing fucking crazy and you manage to proc your R and like fucking I don't know like instantly, it doesn't matter. You're just gonna die before you get the chance.
Yeah.
Because they just all turn you. And this is kind of what happens here. See, it's like we got the dragon here, but your team's all back here, and then you go in here, and then you just die instantly.
Oh, it's almost better just to fucking maybe I just wait honestly, because I guess I was more focused. I think me going in might have like just like shocked a little bit and like stopped them from getting it. But at the same time, like low-key, Karthus didn't even have smite up. Like we were gonna get that dragon.
That's pretty hard to track in game.
Yeah.
But the big thing is you need to just be watching for like your team's cooldowns as well, right? Because this is a great engage if you get a Vigor Cage on top of it that stuns 1 or 2, and you get a Seraphine W that has your team come up with move speed and then they come help you. Because then even if they kill you right away, right? Well, 2 of them are stunned with Vigor W. Hopefully, if he's playing Vigor well enough. Two of them are stunned with Vigor W, or they're locked in the cage. You have all your team walking up with Seraphine W from the move speed, and they all just start wailing on them, even if they turn on you. So you have damage to follow up, even if you die. You see, like you did great damage here, right? You do like almost all of Zera's HP, but nobody can follow up here because they're all on cooldown. Especially because the Seraphine ult gets windwalled too. And then we could have lived this if we dodged the Zera W, but it's unfortunate. Yeah, right here. I think we actually no, you would have died to cut this ult. Never mind, we would have died anyways.
Yep.
And then if fight goes bad, they get Baron. And from here, it's pretty much fucked. Yeah. It's pretty much fucked. Because like even with that stance, you can't do enough damage to kill Zeri instantly with Yumi on her, and the rest of your team is pretty far behind, so it doesn't really. I
don't think there's anything after this that I could have really done.
Here.
I think there was two I think the only play we really would have had is to try to play for Soul somehow, but it just escalates really quickly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But all right, you go play Soul.
All right. Well, whenever I get into a game, we're only 7 minutes into queue here, so. All right. Thanks again, Matt. All right. Yep. Peace out, brother.
No worries.
Thanks again.